The first time I was in Albany and saw the Egg, I couldn't believe it. And when I learned that there's a theater inside there, well, if you've never seen it, it's a huge, brutalist, 10-story gray concrete egg on a pedestal right in the state capitol complex of buildings. And it's been closed for renovations recently, but it's very close to reopening. We get a peek inside the new Egg on today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Morja Wealth Management, serving the North Country for 3 generations. MorjaWM.com. Securities offered through Hightower Securities, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Hightower is an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Tuesday, December 30th. First up, enrollment in New York's public schools has been steadily declining for years now. A new analysis by Cornell University finds that decline is accompanied by an increase in charter schools and homeschooling. Amy Feiereisel has more.
Over the course of a decade, the number of school children in New York declined by about 250,000 kids, from 3.1 million in 2013 to 2.8 million in 2023. This decline is something 90% of the state's districts have been experiencing, including those here in the North Country.
And that is quite a chunk, and I think it makes people think, where are all the kids going?
Leslie Reynolds is a research support specialist at the Cornell University program on applied demographics. She studies population statistics and patterns, primarily in New York. She says the state's picture is in line with a larger American trend, the birth and fertility decline.
Women are waiting longer to have babies, and therefore they're having fewer. And so there's a lower number of children that you have being born in school districts.
And migration to the state, either domestic or international, isn't filling in that gap. But something else is making it feel even more acute in public schools: the growth of charter schools and a rise in homeschooling. Reynolds' report brought together data that hasn't previously been collected statewide. It found that the number of homeschooled children has grown in the last decade, from 0.7 to 1.8% of all school-aged children.
Over doubling, even though it seems like a small percentage, that's still, hundreds of thousands of students.
And much of that growth happened during and after the COVID-19 pandemic.
It showed us that virtual learning is an option, or hybrid learning, that people who were homeschooled during the pandemic stayed homeschooled.
While the number of kids in private schools basically stayed the same, the number of students enrolled in charter schools also more than doubled, from 3 to 6.5% of school-aged children.
So there's a growth of choice, and also in mode of choice.
Reynolds says one of the most positive findings of the study was that overall graduation rates have increased, from around 80% 10 years ago to 87% today. But she also found a stark gender divide that paralleled that growth.
Persistently, girls had a higher graduation rate than boys. And so the female graduation rate was already over 80% and then ended up at 89. But for males, it was about 77% and ended at 82, 83%.
Reynolds says her analysis really asks more questions than it answers. And that was kind of the point. She hoped by collecting this somewhat disparate and often overlapping data, it would give others a launch board.
A set of numbers that's all in one place that will give you more specific research questions or studies. And that goes for decision makers, policymakers, researchers, so that you can at least have a starting point.
For many people working in education, it may quantify trends they've been anecdotally noticing for years now. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio.
One of the last remaining soldiers of the original 10th Mountain Division died earlier this month. Hilton LeBeau died on Friday, December 12th at Gouverneur Hospital. He was 101 years old. The Watertown Daily Times reports LeBeau was born in Halesboro and graduated from Gouverneur High School in 1943. Weeks later, LeBeau volunteered to join the newly created 10th Mountain Division at Camp Hale in Colorado. More than 32,000 people served in the division that specialized in mountain and winter warfare during World War II. LeBeau fought in Italy, where he was shot in battle. According to his obituary, he was honorably discharged in November 1945 and received the Purple Heart Bronze Star Medal, and other awards for his service. He spent decades of his life living and working with his family in Montana before returning to the North Country following the death of his wife in 2020. He's survived by his children, numerous grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. LeBeau said he was proud to have served his country and to have the 10th Mountain Division's headquarters 25 miles from his birthplace. An iconic theater in New York State's Capitol complex is finishing a renovation. The New York Public News Network's Jimmy Vielkind reports it's part of a larger effort officials are hatching for the unique venue known as the Egg.
Diane Eber first visited the Egg as a college student. Formerly called the Empire State Plaza Performing Arts Center, it's obvious why people in Albany immediately nicknamed the 10-story ovular concrete venue the Egg. Eber now runs the place, and on a recent tour, she said it still blows her away.
I was like, whoa, we're going to go inside that crazy building? And my other memories were, honestly, of it feeling very prim and proper.
What do you want the impression of 2026 you kid to be when they come here for a show?
The vortex. You entered the art vortex. That's what I want.
Okay. The Egg is finishing a $20 million renovation, its first major overhaul since opening in 1978. The brutalist venue looks like a flying saucer on a pedestal, surrounded by office buildings. The Egg's 2 auditoriums host everything from jazz shows to political speeches, like Governor Kathy Hochul's State of the State address.
So my commitment to every New Yorker is this: your family is my fight.
Workers are putting the final touches on some 500 new stage lights. The lobby, where warm pearwood meets the stark cement of the building's shell, got fresh carpet and new furniture.
We used the TWA Hotel, actually, as the part design inspiration.
Eber hopes the renovation will complement a programming reboot. The Egg now has open houses where people play arcade games. An immersive adaptation of Stravinsky's Firebird is planned for March. This is all an odd pairing with the Egg, whose imposing design has been mocked as sterile. Or, as the Brooklyn-based band They Might Be Giants put it in a satirical song after playing a show there.
The Egg is a gigantic cement performance orb whose smooth, featureless exterior suggests a worrisome lack of fire exits.
The Egg, exciting and old, the Egg.
Eber says she loves the song, and she's in on the joke.
The Egg was not designed to fit within the fortress of bureaucracy. We were designed to disrupt it.
The Egg, permission to land the Egg.
The renovated Egg will hatch in January. In Albany, I'm Jimmy Vielkind for the New York Public News Network.
For you, poured concrete flowing into organic shapes. Carpet, wood trim, and some velvet drapes combine to make one perfect place. From the outside, I am thinking I'm a number, not a man. From the outside, I am thinking, what were they thinking? The Egg.
I dig that They Might Be Giants, and I'm sure the Egg have safe fire escapes. Anyway, we have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by B. Children of Canton and Zoe Knight of Potsdam. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.